When seconds count, surviving an active shooter situation. I do want to preface today's episode with a trigger warning. This episode contains discussion of active shooter events, gun violence, and traumatic injury response. Listener discretion is advised. Some material may not be appropriate for younger audiences or those sensitive to these topics. Welcome back to Rise Up Voices from the Frontlines. I'm your host, Krista Fee, and today we are tackling a topic that's not only a very significant part of the work that we do here at Rise Up. Addressing this topic is raw, real, and potentially life-saving. Active shooter situations. It's one of those phrases we all hope we never have to face. But the reality is we do need to talk about it. We need to prepare because in those terrifying moments when bullets start flying, preparation can mean the difference between chaos and survival. In today's episode, we are covering what to do if you find yourself in an active shooter situation, how to mentally and physically prepare your family, especially children, the must-have tools for trauma care in the field, and how to build and carry your own personal trauma kit that could save your life. This is not about fear. It's about readiness. So let's dig in. Understanding the threat. We live in a time where violence can erupt in everyday spaces, schools, grocery stores, malls, even places of worship. In fact, almost 500 mass shootings were reported in the US just last year. And while the odds of being caught in one are very low, the consequences of not being prepared are too great to ignore. Let me point out a few real-life pictures. The Covenant School shooting, Nashville, 2023. A former student entered the private Christian school and killed 3 children and 3 adults. The shooter moved through the school with intent, but the quick response of law enforcement and the school's prior lockdown drills helped prevent even greater losses. It was over in less than 14 minutes. That's all it took. Greenwood Park Mall, Indiana, 2022. A gunman opened fire in the food court, killing 3 people. Here's a twist. 22-year-old Alicia Dickon, a bystander, legally carrying a firearm, stopped the shooter within 15 seconds. He took decisive action and it saved lives. Pulse nightclub, Orlando, 2016. This is one of the deadliest shootings in U.S. history. 49 lives were lost, 53 were wounded. Many of those who died bled out while trapped inside waiting for help. This was a turning point in emergency response, where the need for trauma care training and gear became undeniably clear. These are not just stories, they are wake-up calls. We don't get to pick the day tragedy knocks on our door, but we can choose how we are ready and able to face it. Active shooter situations are fast, chaotic, and usually over in less than 10 minutes. The shooters are often not targeting anyone specific. They're looking to create as much damage as possible in the shortest amount of time. So what does that mean for you? It means that you need to make quick, clear decisions under pressure, and those decisions need to be practiced before a crisis happens. While there's so much more nuance to survival, let's start with a simple, practical model that you will likely remember. Run, hide, fight. If you remember nothing else from today's episode, remember this. Run, hide, fight. This is currently the national model for surviving an active shooter incident. Let's break it down. Run. That sounds simple, right? Get out if you can. Know your exits every time you enter a building. Check the doors, stairwells, and any alternative escape routes. Just make this a habit. Leave your belongings, your purse, your phone, your bag. They are not worth your life. Help others escape only if you can, but don't let their hesitation cost you. Once you're safe, prevent others from entering the danger zone. Call 911 only when and if it is safe to do so. Hide. Stay quiet and out of sight. Find a place that's out of the shooter's view. Lock and barricade the door. Use furniture, cords, anything heavy. Turn off the lights, silence your phone, and remain silent. Hide behind something solid and stay low to the ground. Remember, your goal is to avoid detection. Fight. This is an absolute last resort. If your life is in imminent danger and you have no other option, be aggressive, go all in. Use improvised weapons, fire extinguishers, chairs, scissors, anything you can get your hands on, and commit fully. The goal is to disorient and incapacitate. This isn't about playing hero, it's about survival. Let's talk family preparedness. What about your people, your kids, your spouse, your crew? How do you prepare them? Begin with conversations, age appropriate, calm, and empowering, not fear-based. Teach kids to listen for unusual sounds, follow instructions quickly, know where the exits are, and recognize safe adults. Practice drills like fire drills, but for intruder scenarios. Practice at the mall, at the park, at church. Get them used to making quick decisions by asking, where would I run? Where could I hide? Talk through scenarios during car rides or while doing chores. Keep it casual, but consistent. Repetition builds reflexes. Here's another real-life reminder. On June 21st, 2024, in Arkansas, a gunman opened fire outside and inside the Mad Butcher supermarket in the middle of the day. 4 people were killed, 9 others were injured, including a young nurse named Callie Weems. She was shot while trying to help another victim. This happened to regular people doing regular things, grocery shopping, running errands, living life. These attacks are not limited to schools or nightclubs. They're happening in broad daylight in the places we least expect. That's why family preparedness matters. The personal trauma kit. This is a huge part of the Rise Up mission. Let's talk gearing up, specifically your personal trauma kit. In any violent event, it's not just bullets that kill, it's bleeding out. And death from blood loss can happen in less than 5 minutes. That's why your best bet isn't just escape. It's being able to keep yourself or others alive until help arrives. Every parent, every teacher, every responder, every person should carry a compact trauma kit. You can clip it on your belt in a mole pouch, or keep it in your glove box or go bag, or all of the above. Here's what Stop the Bleed recommends your kit should include: tourniquets. Now, we will have an entire podcast episode on tourniquets. Make sure they are CAT or RATS tourniquets, the real deal, not Amazon knockoffs. This is extremely important, and I cannot stress this enough. Hemostatic gauze like QuikClot or Celox, compressed gauze or trauma dressings, chest seals, vented and non-vented, trauma shears for cutting through clothing, nitrile gloves, CPR face shield, thermal emergency blanket. We should always have those in our emergency kits. Medical tape, a permanent marker, a mini flashlight or glow stick, and then the instructions for basic bleeding control if you happen to have those things ready. Before you ask, yes, you can learn how to use all of this, and you can purchase a pre-made kit. There are Stop the Bleed trainings offered all across the U.S., and I highly recommend that everyone takes one. Bring your teen, bring your neighbor. Knowledge saves lives. Community and classroom preparedness. Again, this is a big focus of Rise Up Phoenix Trauma and Crisis Institute programming. We need to normalize readiness in every environment. That means trauma kits in every classroom and every teacher taught how to use them. Response drills in schools and community centers for children and adults. Emergency plans for churches, clubs, and workplaces. Leaders stepping up to get trained and train others. Be the one who brings it up, who organizes it, who makes it happen. And if you need help, please bring Rise Up Phoenix Trauma and Crisis Institute in to help your organization with prevention, preparation, protection, resilience, response, and recovery for the best possible outcomes in the worst possible situations. Let's close this out. The world is changing, and while we can't always control what's happening to us, we can absolutely control how we prepare, how we respond, and how we protect the people that we love. Preparedness is not panic, it is power. So let's stay alert, stay ready, and stay brave. If today's episode resonates with you, do me a favor. Share it with your spouse, your child's school, your local PTA, your church, your friend group. Let's turn information into action. Keep an eye out on our website, riseuphoenix.org, RISEUP, Phoenix, PHOENIX.org, and our social media and podcast channels, as we'll be bringing you tons of free and low-cost resources to family and community safety, from books and workbooks to trainings and masterclasses, and even the Building Blocks Kids community, which addresses these topics in depth. Until next time, stay safe, stay grounded, and remember, we rise up together.